Okay, I think I'm actually live this time. The chat seems to be working. Everything seems to be good. Thanks so much for dealing with the little bit of starting over, stopping and starting over there. Anyway, so what I want hit me up in the chat if you're here and it works and I can respond and make sure that everything is good. Hello. Oh, good, great. Peter, hello. Thank you for being here. So I wanted to chat today a little bit about consistency on YouTube and consistency in general. I've written before and spoken before about authenticity and its relation to consistency. I think people. Oh, Geeksvana, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Remind me, Geeksvana and Peter, let us know where in the world you're located. I'd love to know who's here from all the different places. So, I've spoken before about authenticity, and I think that people really overvalue authenticity. Um, I think authenticity is a good thing, but we hear this buzzword a lot in social media, in digital media, for YouTubers and everywhere else, if you're on LinkedIn or anywhere. And Honolulu, Hawaii, way to show us all up, Peter. It must be great out there. Oh, for what it's worth, I have no idea if this is, South Carolina, beautiful as well, beautiful. Connecticut right now is the best time of year to be in Connecticut. New England is amazing in the fall. We get all the colors. It's like right out of a movie. Except today, we had a storm overnight, and it's raining and cold and windy. And the storm, apparently somewhere around 3 a.m. for us, knocked out the power. We woke up with no power. Didn't have it until about 9 a.m. So it was out for about 6 hours, and it came back on, which is great because I have so much work to do today. And like everything on online, my whole work now, like everything I do is connected to either the internet or uses electricity. It's kind of humbling when the power goes out, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't do like any of my work. Um, but we just found out from the electric company that this is only temporary. They turned the power back on, but they have to replace the pole that went down in our community. So in somewhere, we don't know when, at some point today, we're going to lose power for like 2 hours while they come back and turn it off and replace the pole. So I'm trying to get everything done that I can. And obviously, live streaming on YouTube was part of that really important strategy for today, not doing any of the other things that my clients are waiting for. But Syed, autumn has started in the US. Yes, autumn has started. Mostly you get autumn the way that, if you're not from here, the way you think of it, if you've seen it in the movies or in Hollywood, that's where I live in Connecticut, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts a little bit. It's that New England is what they call the New England fall. The autumn is spectacular, and so I live right in the heart of it. So the trees are a million different colors, and it's beautiful, except for the storm that we're having right now. It's cold and rainy and windy, but. So I wanted to chat a little bit because I think people get this idea of authenticity confused. They think, my guest, Shama Hyder, she's the Zen master of media, the Zen master of marketing. She's the CEO of Zen Media, like Forbes 30 under 30, all that. She was a guest on my podcast earlier this season, and I asked her about authenticity because she's like a guru of digital marketing, right? And um, and what Shama said was, people have this idea that they're supposed to be totally transparent, right? But she's like, for most people in business, most of our audiences don't really care what we had for breakfast. I mean, maybe, but they probably don't need to know every single moment of your day. What we mean when we say authenticity is that we make a promise and we fulfill that promise. That whatever promise has been made by the brand or ideally the person that you've subscribed to, that you've signed up for, that you follow on social media, whatever it is, whatever promise they've made, and I don't mean explicitly they go, I promise to. No, I mean that through their actions and their writing and their videos and their marketing, through everything you've learned about them, that there's something that they've said, I'm going to deliver, and that they consistently deliver that, whatever it is, right? So that your expectations match up with reality. That's what we really mean when we talk about authenticity. And so the reason I wanted to chat about that is because for me, the key to authenticity is actually consistency. Like I said, you make a promise and then you consistently deliver on that promise to the people that are expecting you to do that. And it makes me very uncomfortable when I cannot consistently deliver on a promise that I've made. And what happened with this YouTube channel is, in order to be authentic to my career over the last year or so, as it really exploded in the speaking world, and my book came out, and I launched my podcast, I had so many commitments and obligations and things that I had to achieve, and people that were paying a lot of money, and brands I was working with, and I have management and agents who count on me. I had to basically almost completely give up this YouTube channel, which put me into turmoil like for a year. I mean, when I was basically uploading one video every 6 weeks just to maintain. But you folks, many of you who have been here since the beginning, when I had 100 subscribers, and have made it all the way to 13,000, I got here because I continued to deliver on a promise that I had made, which was I was uploading 3 to 4 videos a week. I was doing vlogs and behind the scenes stuff, and I was doing audio tutorials and camera and lens reviews and tutorials and stuff like that. But then for like a year, I pretty much stopped delivering on that promise. And so understandably, the super fans, the folks of you who are still those of you who are still here, the 100 or 200 of you who are continually watching my videos in spite of the fact that I disappeared for a while, I mean, I can't thank you enough for that. But, understandably, and I don't fault people for it, I lost a huge amount of those 13,000 subs. They're not watching my videos the way they used to. I used to get 300 to 500 views on every vlog, and I used to get thousands, tens of thousands of views on my tutorials and gear reviews. And those numbers have dwindled to about 100 to 200 on my vlogs, and maybe 500 to 1,000 if I'm lucky on the gear reviews and the tutorials. And I made a commitment just about 2 months ago to take care of my audience again, to start rebuilding trust, not by being more authentic in terms of, I don't feel like you guys need to hear from me all the time about, like, I think I only made one video once where I really made a whole video about here's why I've been gone and here's where the channel is going. But I didn't want to start showing up like once a week. Like, I've seen some channels, like once a week, they'll come up and go, sorry, I'm not making videos anymore. Here's what's going on in my personal life. And I don't think the audience cares. And if they do care, I don't think they should have to care about what's going on for me personally or professionally behind the scenes. All you should care about, and I think rightly so, is, am I delivering on the promise that I've made to you? And so I decided I really wanted to win back the trust of you guys and girls and gals and folks and whoever you are and whatever you believe in. I wanted to win back that trust that I had spent years earning by posting again consistently. And so I've been posting twice a week, as you've probably noticed, Tuesdays and Fridays on this channel. It won't necessarily always be those days, but it's worked out pretty well for me. Mostly doing the vlog style stuff, and then I'm starting to do this Thursday Thoughts thing every other week on my podcast, and I'm trying to listen to the feedback you guys gave me. I ran that poll, and most of you said you would prefer that if I'm going to do a podcast here on YouTube or a version of my podcast here, it should be a video podcast that was designed to be on YouTube, not just audio ported over. And I get that. It's a tremendous amount of extra work, and I'm sure you understand. But again, it's not your problem if it's extra work for me. It's just for me to figure out if I'm able to deliver that and if I'm willing to in my time. So I am, one of the reasons I got this webcam is to be able to, when I do live in-person interviews in my studio, not only did I set up the studio now for audio treatment, so it's completely dead in here, which, you know, you guys are gonna keep seeing this roll out, the build of everything that's now complete in here. It's done, except for my closet organization, but you don't care about that. So visually, this should be spectacular for video. One of the reasons I got this new webcam that I showed you guys the other day is I wanted to be able to have bring in a table back behind me and have two people sit across from each other and have this permanent webcam be a wide shot that I can just hit record, boom, on my computer, and I instantly have a wide shot. At the very least, I've got one wide shot while I'm recording a podcast interview with high quality because I've got lots of lights I can set up. And then if I want, I can throw a second camera on a close-up of the guest and maybe just do the wide shot with the webcam and cut into close-ups of the guest. I don't need a close-up on me when it's my podcast because it's about the guest. So yes, video hopefully will start coming. It's harder for me to do that when I'm traveling, doing remote interviewing, when I travel and interview someone remotely. To bring all that extra, it's a tremendous amount of gear between lights and cameras and everything. The editing's not the problem. I enjoy the editing, but it's a lot of gear on top of everything that I already travel with, and flying is crazy. So that's one of the reasons I built out this studio with all this acoustic treatment to completely deaden the space so I could do real podcasting in here. And so that's why I got this webcam, so I can actually help do the video portion. You'll also notice that later today at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is the first time I've done an episode of Thursday Thoughts where I recorded it twice. I recorded it for the podcast where it sounds like a podcast. It's just a dry voice right in your ear, very soft and warm and conversational. So that's on the podcast. But I did the exact same episode speaking directly to a camera like I would do a vlog, and that's what you guys are going to see here on YouTube in about 2 hours is an episode for Thursday Thoughts on my podcast about dealing with feedback, positive or negative. But you'll see when that shows up here on YouTube that I filmed that just for YouTube, and then I did the exact same script, loosely the same script, and recorded it completely differently and separately for the podcast. So my podcast listeners will be getting the kind of content they expect, and hopefully here on YouTube, you will be getting the kind of content you expect and that you're here for. Let's see. I've got a couple of comments down here. Video would be amazing. Yeah, I see a whole bunch of you guys. I would be better if you continued reviewing the gear. I'd love to see gear reviews and audio tutorials. Yes, I opened a new channel just for that. This channel will no longer have audio tutorials or gear reviews. This channel will be exclusively for my work, which is how I built this channel in the first place. Originally, this was a channel for my work as a magician. Now it's a channel for my work as a speaker and a consultant on human connection and all that stuff. But I have a brand new channel. I'm going to throw it into the chat right now. It's audio for content creators. And here's the YouTube link. So when we're done with this, audio for content creators, go over there, subscribe, ding the notification bell. That is where I'm uploading as often as I can, about once a week. I can't commit to every week always because I travel a lot, but as often as I can, I'm doing an audio tutorial or a gear review, and I will include over there for the most part. If I'm going to do camera stuff, I'll probably toss it over there. But on this channel, as you've been watching this build series, you've been watching me redo the studio build, completely redo the studio. There's going to be a ton of... there's a ton more videos coming in that studio build. There's like 4 more videos coming at least. The next one, which is going up on Tuesday, shows me redo the desk. So I had already built the desk physically, like I built the desk. But the next video, you're going to see me set up and do a desk tour. So I'm going to show you every single piece of equipment that I use on my desk and all my audio. I'm going to tell you what it is, how it gets plugged in, and what it's used for, which I've never done before, ever. I've never showed you guys the behind the scenes of what's pretty much, behind the camera, what you never see here, the stuff I actually use, my monitors, my audio interface, all of that jazz, and how it all gets plugged in, and headphone amps and stuff like that. So you're going to see that it's a long 15, 16-minute detailed video where I walk you through everything as I reset up my desk with the new desk itself from IKEA, which was a fun build. So that is showing up on this channel on Tuesday. And then after that, you're going to start seeing the videos about the acoustic treatment. So there will be a full video where it's just a build out. So you'll see everything I'm putting up. And then there will be a video that goes up after that where I'll talk you through what every single one of these 11 pieces of acoustic treatment is for. And in that video, I'll be cutting in an interview I did. I interviewed over video chat. So I got video for you. Over video chat, a room planner, sound designer, and engineer from GIK Acoustics, which is where all these panels are from. He and I talked for an hour, and I asked him all the kinds of questions you might be wondering about doing home studio acoustic treatment, how to do it on a budget, if you have very limited budget, what to tackle first, what's the most important things you can do for free without buying acoustic treatment to improve your audio. There was stuff, I thought I was just going to ask questions on your behalf. There was stuff that I learned that I never knew. So it was a super, super useful conversation. So I'll be cutting in that video, teaching you, showing you what every single one of these pieces is designed for, why it's there, and hopefully you'll be able to learn from that. And the final video in this series, I'm going to show you a huge amount, 15 or 16 different audio before and after samples. I took, I think, 16 different before samples before there was a single piece of acoustic treatment in this room, doing everything you can imagine from podcasting solo with a dynamic mic, podcasting solo with a condenser mic, two-person podcast with dynamic mics, two-person podcast with omnidirectional lav mics, using an omnidirectional lav mic for a vlog setup, using a shotgun mic on camera for a vlog setup, using a boom mic for a vlog setup, acoustic guitar dry, sung vocals dry, acoustic and vocals together, and electric guitar at recording volumes, clean, and electric guitar heavy overdrive at recording volumes. Did I get them all? Yeah. So I am going to show you all the before and after samples of pre-treatment and post-treatment. You cannot believe how dead this room is. When you walk into it from the hallway of my house, you can hear the sound disappear. It's almost eerie. It's almost unnerving. It's pretty amazing. So, Geeks Fauna, your audio videos have genuinely changed my videos for the better. I'm so glad to hear you say that. It's my pleasure to do that. I know that you guys know this, but audio is the most important part of video. You can have really, really crappy video quality. As long as your audio is crystal clear, people will listen. People will be able to enjoy it. But if you don't nail the audio, if it's echoey or far away or garbled or whatever, it's a disaster. Oh, I had no intention of mentioning this, but since I'm on that topic of audio, after this weekend, I think I'm going to close out the beta for the Audio 101 for Content Creators online course. So here, I'm throwing it into the chat right now, audio101.info. Code is beta. Use code BETA, and that will get you 60% off. It's a $97 course that with that code is only $37.